Meet George Jetson.
Was raised as far as how a man should act was never straightforward. My parents never told me this is how a man acts. It was more of what to do and what not to do, as just I guess what they were teaching me was right from wrong. What I believe to be my influences or examples of how a man should be came from my father and his work ethic.
Raised by my parents. I had a brother and sister, and we were always raised to treat our ancestors, or our parents, our grandparents, and elderly with respect. I've always been taught to open doors for ladies and be a gentleman, but I usually just do it anyways because I was raised that way, and it just comes naturally to me.
I was raised by wonderful parents. It was a goodly long time ago because I was born in 1951. So I was raised in a contiguous household with unconditional love. So that's one of the biggest blessings in my life. And we were just always taught to be polite and considerate of other human beings, considerate of the people you live with. You know, if you go, you're going to be gone, you leave somebody a note. Consideration, which I think is the premise for politeness in our society.
I was always taught that a man had to earn his respect, and it wasn't just given.
The difference between how my parents and my grandparents were raised compared to how I was raised on how men should carry themselves is, I feel like my grandparents and my father had been very macho, very charged of the head, like the house, and they have to be taking care of everything. Everything relies on the man. The man is the head of his house. He has to work the 9-to-5 jobs. He has to pay the bills. He has to manage to get food on the table, and everything relies on him.
My parents raised me very well. I think it depends on the family. Maybe your race has to do with a little bit of how you're raised because of traditions. So maybe each family has a different way of treating their son, whether they do good or bad. With maybe butt whooping if you're bad, and maybe a prize if you did really good in school and got an A. Parents raised me to respect everyone and respect their space and their train of thought and who they are as a person. Not to judge, and that's exactly what I am. So it definitely raised me though to be a gentleman, take responsibility for my actions. Whether those actions have occurred because other people in my life or occurred because I did something in my life. So definitely taking responsibility for my actions. If I bring them upon myself or someone else does.
It was a time of stark and sometimes startling contrasts in American life. World War I was over. Women got the right to vote. Fashion took a liberal turn. Alcohol was outlawed.
I think the way men are supposed to act when it comes to technology has greatly changed due to the fact that now I feel like you don't have to be in front of the person, so you can do things that you normally wouldn't do in front of people, especially when it comes to courtship and guys trying to find a girlfriend or whatever. It's really common for them just to want to hook up with a girl for a one-night stand, which is so easy now with Twitter and Facebook and all these other forms of social media, that you can just hit her up and be like, hey, let's do it, and that's it, and then not even see her the next day. And it kind of killed the whole courtship of going on dates and doing stuff like that. So I feel like it really kind of killed it for how people date and how it's really made guys kind of douchey, kind of they care more about sex than who they would talk to. So I think that killed that sense.
The way people communicate between each other and what some people call fake, I guess is the new term for being insincere. And I don't think that people are insincere as much as you don't get the emotion when you talk to people. when you're face to face, you can see someone's emotions and you can hear in their voice what they intend. But because a lot of communication occurs online, you don't get the subtleties of what they're trying to say. So I don't think that people are insincere as much as it is misunderstood.
Exposed to it instantly. You know, years ago the media actually filtered some things where they didn't throw every piece of dirt out there about every person on the planet. But now we get it all and we get it instantly. So I don't know that people are worse necessarily, but we certainly have more access to the worst information about people. And the best.
Certain guy or girl, maybe it's a girl playing a guy, and a guy playing a girl, and they're fake and they're not really who they are, who they should be. So technology is good, but at the same time it has changed. And I think hidden really the true values of people are able to hide who they really are and their feelings. So I think it's actually hurt people in the communicating skills.
50 years ago, there was no iPhone, there was no touch phone, there was nothing of that sort. You'd have to send mail, like in the mail, you couldn't text people. You couldn't really, you didn't have very much of an online social media life. But you couldn't really meet people like you can today, but there's kind of weird people out there, and there's people who aren't who they say they are. Just keep in touch with friends you used to have and meet more people.
I feel like anything has really changed as far as how a man should be. Everyone has a different idea or view of what a man should be or how a man should act, and I don't think that there's no wrong way, other than if you purposely try to harm people, I believe that's how a man should act. I believe a man should be helpful when he can be, and I guess to think of others.
Generation of children that are being raised by a generation of children that perhaps weren't raised by the same values of the contiguous family that I was raised in. So I feel it's a benefit the way that I was raised, and not everyone has that benefit. Well, the rules have changed how men should act, and that changes society.
I can feel you breathe. Just breathe.
As a kid, I always thought money was the biggest thing, but money isn't everything. You go to college, go to school, learn everything you need to know, become successful in life, and just like acquire all the knowledge you need to know to have a great job, have a great family, and live life.
In our society, success is governed by money. It is a method of keeping score, whether you like it or not. And as I have gotten older, I'm less and less in using that for my scorekeeping. Happiness, I think, is an easier way to keep score. Maybe more real. To do for the last 44, 45 years, hairdresser. It's still creative. I still enjoy working with people, talking with people. Anybody who burns out in this industry is inexplicable to me.
My thoughts of being successful was earning lots of money. That's an important thing because you got to support your family, and while having a family with women and children.
When I was probably in my late teens, was when I really started thinking about those questions. I believe then that what made someone successful was being financially independent, having hobbies, working hard, and supporting his family. I don't think that my views of success has changed too much. I still believe that being financially independent is very important as far as my idea of being successful. Being happy with your life, being able to accept your decisions. I don't think that makes someone successful, but I believe someone who is able to do that is more successful in their lifetime.
You're living your dream, doing what you like to do, making money. Success is the American dream. It's the reason you live for. Every day you wake up out of bed, put your socks and your shoes on.
There's a time, always a